Hello, welcome to the Happy Families podcast. It's another Friday. It's been a big week. I've been in regional New South Wales all week. Narromine, Condobolin, Parks, Forbes, Dubbo, the whole lot. And finally, we get to sit down and talk about all the parenting that I haven't done and that Kylie has done this week so that we can learn how to be better parents. I have actually got a couple of really big stories to share, though, about how we can get things right when things are emotionally charged at home based on something that happened last week when I was at home with the whole family. Kylie, you've got something lined up for us as well.
And today I'm going to share how sometimes our kids are the mirror to our own souls.
We'll find out what Kylie means right after the break on the Happy Families podcast. Welcome to the Happy Families podcast Friday edition. It's I'll Do Better Tomorrow, where we review the week that was, work out what worked, what didn't, and try to give you some inspo so that you can make your family happier. My name's Dr. Justin Coulson. I'm here with Kylie, mum to our 6 kids, my wife of, you know what, we're coming up to, 28 years. 28 years of marriage in just a couple of weeks' time. Very excited for this. Are you looking after it this year or am I, the wedding anniversary? Have you got that or have I got it?
Maybe I've got it. Maybe you've got it.
That's not filling me with any sense of confidence at all. We need to do better than this. We'll work it out at some point. Kylie, you have said something cryptic about what you're going to share, mirrors to souls for our children. Just before we go there, received an email. We love your emails. We love your voice notes. Podcasts at happyfamilies.com.au. That's podcasts with an S at happyfamilies.com.au. I just want to read this out. A GP, a co-owner of a medical practice and a GP in the northern suburbs of Brisbane got in touch. Mum to a couple of teenagers, felt compelled, she says, to send an email to you to share my thoughts. Here's the background. I work with lots of young families and adolescents and support them through lots of challenges. Recently, I've been feeling uneasiness with the way mental health treatment has been progressing. So much money spent, so many psychologists and psychiatrists, and overall so many medications for these people without much improvement. And on top of the depression, anxiety epidemic, I've been overwhelmed every week with adults wanting referrals for ADHD diagnosis. Then, she says, the Queensland government came out with the news in December, allowing GPs in Queensland to diagnose and prescribe medications for ADHD without further training. Couldn't believe this decision. It seemed crazy to me. Why would the solution be more doctors and easier to prescribe? We are in health economic crisis, huge money spent on these subsidised medications, sending PBS Medicare into debt. Yes, no one can get in to see a psychiatrist, but that at least was keeping the epidemic at bay. Now there will be no stopping this epidemic. Why are people so wanting of this diagnosis? I have very accomplished professionals seeing me requesting referrals. The world seems to have gone mad over ADHD diagnosis. Then she says the following. A few weeks after hearing your recommendation on your book review episode of Happy Families, I ordered Searching for Normal from Booktopia. It arrived last weekend. I can't tell you the visceral reaction I have had to reading this book. I only started 2 days ago. I'm halfway through reading it, but the author writes so articulately about what I've been feeling in my gut for years. I've been reading sitting up next to my husband in bed, and nearly every few pages I dig him in the ribs and say, see, yes, I agree. This is exactly how I feel. This is my exact patient. And what? The lack of evidence for our treatment guidelines is so absent. Anyway, she goes on to say, I feel so emotional and passionate about this, and I don't know where to turn. I feel like I need to start yelling this from the mountaintops. I started a discussion in our tea room at work yesterday asking if anyone had read the book. Nobody had. I feel like I just can't keep seeing these families and agreeing to the distortion of truth. And she goes on to say a few things about mental health care plans for psychologists and just how messed it all up. I wanted to share that because we made a pretty big deal about Searching for Normal by Sammy Tamimi on the podcast last year. And I've come under a lot of fire from people who are not professionals, but who are just desperate because their kids are driving them crazy or because they're being driven crazy. And I keep on getting this kind of feedback, Kylie, because we are not dealing with the mental health challenges that we've got in this country properly and giving GPs who are not trained the authorization to start writing more scripts for more diagnoses, which they're also not qualified to be giving. It's beyond the pale. It's completely inappropriate. It's absolutely wrong, that the government's doing it and that the doctors are doing it, pediatricians are doing it. They're not actually the people who should be doing this, and we've got massive problems. So there you go. There's my bright ray of sunshine to start off our Friday I'll Do Better Tomorrow. Do you want to add anything to that, or do you just want to tell us your happy story?
No, I feel so saddened by the idea that the answer to our problems is just another drug or just another label. And I look at individual people in my own life that are very close to me and watch how the medical profession has literally slowly eaten away at any chance of enjoyment in life, because as soon as there's a problem, there's just another drug added to the cocktail.
Yeah, so it's
on offer.
Pills, not skills.
Yeah, and I remember when you and I first got married, and I used to come to you with my challenges, and you would be so burdened by it because you thought your job was to fix them. And I kind of feel like GPs play that role. We come in, we tell them we've got a problem, and their job is to fix it, instead of us looking at them as almost a sounding board and an opportunity to get curious and try and kind of understand and look at all the options.
The best ones do. The best ones say, well, let's talk more about that, and let's see if we... In fact, I've read about some very unique GPs who are prescribing exercise and prescribing food as medicine.
Or green space or meditation.
Right. They're actually prescribing, and they're writing it on the note that said, go home and do this.
Yeah.
And when adherence occurs, well-being follows. We just do not have enough people who are willing to step away from that medical model. The other thing that makes it really hard is that we've lost confidence in our ability to get through things. We feel like we need to always be getting an expert, getting somebody in to help us. I know I'm doing myself out of a job by saying this, but we've got to back ourselves a little bit more and just go, okay, I can actually do this. It's okay. The number of parents who want me to give them permission to say no to their children. I'm like, I don't need to give you permission. You can do that. Anyway, that was the email that came through. We get plenty like that, but that one just struck me, I guess, because it's somebody who is really working out the coalface, dealing with this, and is literally doing the work and saying, why are we doing this? It's not right. We just need more people who are brave enough to do it rather than just go with the flow. What's your I'll Do Better Tomorrow, Kylie?
Well, this week's been a little bit challenging, and I did find myself in a bit of an altercation with one of our children. And as we were talking, she was very emotionally heightened and was really struggling to, I guess, take accountability for the part that she was playing in this challenge.
So we've got a saying at home, if you can't take accountability and own it and be responsible, that's using your OAR, right? OAR, ownership, accountability, responsibility, that you're in bed. Blame, excuse, and denial. And you're saying she was in bed.
And I've heard the saying before that children's behaviour is often a mirror to our own behaviour and challenges. And as I was sitting there watching her falling apart and getting more and more frustrated by the whole situation.
So dramatic.
It occurred to me that there have been plenty of times in our relationship where you have come and made a suggestion or queried me on something, and I have taken offence or suggested any number of reasons why you were incorrect or anything. And it's not pretty watching your child act in such a way that reflects behaviour you recognise in your own life. Hence the mirror to your soul.
Right. Okay. You do get a bit defensive if I offer a suggestion that is not requested from time to time.
Maybe.
As much as I try not to. I grew up in a home where suggestions were fluent and fast coming. Like my parents, or my mum especially, always had suggestions for how we could do things better.
And I grew up in a home where it was everybody else's problem.
Yeah, it's so funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
How you get together and you're supposed to just figure this stuff out. Here we are, 30 years in almost, and we're kind of going, we're just learning stuff about this.
But a short time after that experience, you rang me and I may have jumped down your throat through the phone about something. And I got off the phone. You were so good. You just said, okay, I'll talk to you soon. And you hung up and I rang you back.
I think I said nicer things than that. I'm just saying. I think I told you that I love you even when you're mad at me.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
You didn't say any of that. You just
I always say things like
let
that.
me
Come
go.
on. Okay, all right.
And about 3 or 4 minutes as I sat with it, I was like, oh, wow, that was really harsh. He didn't deserve that. And I rang you back and I apologized. But the thing that stood out to me the most in that small interaction was, number one, you could have been seething for those 3 minutes because I had treated you poorly in that moment. But when you answered the phone, it was like you were so excited to talk to me. And I apologized and you just said, I love you no matter what. And I'm really grateful that in spite of both of our upbringings, that there is this deep desire to find middle ground and to love no matter what. And in spite of the challenges we had with this particular child on this day, I think that we came around to all of us sitting in the room understanding and knowing that no matter what, there is just deep love and appreciation for the abundantly good lives we get to live and we get to share together.
That's the whole box and dice. That's the entirety of what it's about. Can we stop doing dumb things? But if we do, can we forgive each other? And can we move on and be better as a result of it? Like, that's literally all that matters. It's the whole thing. Holding on to grudges doesn't serve anyone. Being upset and seething doesn't serve anyone.
I think the challenge for many people is that if I take accountability for the part that I've played, then I'm actually giving the other person permission to not take accountability. That's what it feels like. It feels like if I'm saying, yeah, that was my fault, then I'm taking the responsibility of the whole situation on board. But that's not what accountability is about. It's about acknowledging that I've played a role in this. I don't need to take your stuff on, but I can acknowledge mine.
Family life is sometimes challenging, but my goodness, it's so rich. It's so worth it. So I was going to share my awesome story, and it's an absolute banger, but time's up. We need to wrap it up there. So really, really hope that you've enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for listening to the Happy Families podcast. We will get into the nitty gritty of the other stuff that we deal with and just the huge challenges that being a parent can bring into our lives on an upcoming episode. Have a great weekend. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media, and Mim Hammonds provides all of our additional support. More details are available at happyfamilies.com.au.